What's going on in Maui? There is a lot to unpack, so try to keep up. Several wildfires have broken out on the island of Maui, creating mass devastation and destruction, most notably the town of Lahaina. This is not the people's fault, and our hearts go out to those affected. Why is Lahaina significant? It was once the capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii, prior to the forced U.S. annexation and the eventual move to Honolulu. Lahaina is filled with native property and business owners that have dug their heels in and have refused to sell their properties to conglomerates such as BlackRock, Vanguard, and Oprah. Unglobalized prime oceanfront property still owned and managed by the natives. So what caused this destruction? Short answer, no one knows. All government agencies, local and federal, have vehemently stated that it is unknown. However, there are two competing theories online. One, environmental, the perfect combination of a major hurricane 200 miles off the southern shore of Maui, combined with northern pressure to create massive dryness and winds. Or two, diabolical, something the conspiracy theorists call a DEW, direct energy weapon. What? I had the same response, so I started Googling. The first article that pops up when you Google Maui DEW is from Newsweek. It starts like this. The devastating wildfires in Hawaii have brought a new conspiracy theory from climate change deniers who suggest that the destruction was orchestrated by the federal government's direct energy weapons. Ugh. Anytime a propaganda media article starts with conspiracy theory by climate change deniers, makes me want to believe it more. Next article, fact-checked, false. Wait, what? I thought the facts were unknown. But how can we rule out trending theories as impossible already? Joe Biden just announced that the federal government will provide aid to those that lost their homes. That means homeowners who lost their houses and properties can now loan money from the federal government at a low interest rate. Your super valuable property that is skyrocketing in value, you can now get a new mortgage courtesy of Uncle Sam. There are also countless efforts by the people to send aid and support to devastated areas. This would be great, except local residents are now saying that they are having difficulty delivering such aid and only FEMA and Red Cross aid is being allowed in. Roadblocks everywhere. No one allowed in or out. And Maui is an island surrounded by water next to one of the largest U.S. military bases. Local residents are saying that they received no advanced warning and that they only evacuated once they saw the thick black smoke at their doors. Why was the federal response so slow on this matter, waiting until the fire had overtaken this area prior to action? I don't know what's going on in Maui. Our hearts go out to all those affected and we pray for your safety. But what I do know is that there are more questions than answers. And anytime that's the case, especially when global self-interest benefits and people suffer, well, conspiracy theory.
I have been trapped in Lahaina for the last 4 days. And I experienced firsthand what was going on there. What I went through is not important. I need to get this message out. This was not a natural disaster. This was a direct energy attack on the people and the place of Maui. If you know what lives there, what descendants live there, you know why. And you know why it happened on 8/8. And if this is not something that you believe, it's time to stop being a sheep. They came in and they took control. There were trees standing and the buildings gone. This system, this weather system, came in from the mountains, from the east. That does not happen. They were not telling people anything. They were not letting people in to help. And they were letting people go in to get burned alive. There were people burning alive in the streets. There were people dead in the water. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of people that died. What they're telling you in the news is not true. I lived it firsthand. I sat with the people. This is not to bring fear. This is to educate, because there is darkness that is being hidden. And soon people are going to see. I know now why Gaia sent me there. And I'm going to use this platform. There was no warning. There was no nothing. Please use this post. I want everybody to see this. I don't give a fuck about me. I want everybody to see this. What they're telling you in the news is not what happened.
I'm Raylene and located in Maui. I live in Kihei and I wanted to share some local updates. Shocking, or maybe not. Did you hear about the fires? Did you hear that the government of Hawaii states their goal is to rebuild and make the entire island of Maui the first smart island? They want the entire island governed by AI, is outlined in the Hawaii Digital Government Summit of 2023 that they plan to host next month on September 25th, 2023 on Maui. Wow. Now they're going to come to the rescue for this horrible problem. And last January in 2023, there was a smart city conference in Maui to turn Maui again into the smart city island, pushing everything electric, making 15-minute smart cities. And there was also a contract last year to build a high-rise condo complex and businesses in Lahaina, which is a historic town that couldn't have any new development in this area. But now it's demolished. So now I guess they have to rebuild, right? We spent the morning trying to find places to volunteer to help. We feel helpless. There's so much going on. There's people who need assistance. We went to the War Memorial Shelter, which we learned has been taken over by FEMA. They've taken a whole bunch of supplies. People do not know where they're going. They don't trust that they're actually going to be delivered to people in need. In past FEMA situations, after disasters, they found containers full of supplies that were never given to the people. And if you go to the War Memorial, people are being told to go there if you need assistance. They are turning everyone away, saying that it's not a distribution center. It's a shelter, and unless you're checked into this shelter, you will receive nothing. And I will say, for donations on the island, please be considerate of your fellow humans, because there's a lot of moms that need diapers and wipes and formula, and everything has been purchased and given as donations, and now it is being hoarded by Red Cross and FEMA, not being distributed to those who actually need them. So ship things in from Amazon. I shared today that you could ship things to the Maui Food Bank. There's some other local organizations that will actually get your items to the people. And FEMA is also making people sign paperwork just to receive assistance. We did find, through local word of mouth, a place where we could donate our time today, and we assisted the Hungry Heroes of Hawaii at Buzz's Wharf in Maa'i. If I said that right. Great place. If you need donations or if you have some to drop off, you can. It's a staging area right before the road is shut down to get into the Lahaina area. They were not allowing anyone through unless you had, if you had a supply truck full of supplies to help the people in these areas, you were not allowed through unless you had a specific contract or permission from a certain agency to come through. And where would you get that permission from? So lots of people are being denied. They're trying to come in with supply trucks to assist. This Hungry Heroes, they were able to get some trucks in yesterday. They were supposed to meet with the mayor and officials. They said they waited around for 5 hours being told to move to different locations, and then they were eventually kicked out and said, why are you even here? And they were trying to coordinate to drop off and deliver supplies. And they can get to the supplies, but there's nowhere to drop them off or give them to anybody because everything is so disorganized. They also brought 150 meals, cooked meals, to help the people who need them. And they were denied because it was not cooked in a commercial kitchen. So not being allowed to distribute. All the roads in and out of Lahaina are blocked except for specific personnel, and it's up in the air. We don't know anymore maybe if you're a resident with an ID. That was open yesterday and they supposedly shut it back down after a few hours because people were trying to take photos of the damage that happened in Lahaina. Heaven forbid that they go to their houses and do anything. There is a looting going on, and not just in the Lahaina area, also in Kula. There are boats making supply runs. Some of them are saying that they've had to push through barricades to get in and deliver supplies because, again, the government officials are trying to shut down local assistance. It seems like they only want FEMA and they only want Red Cross. Yet when you talk to people on the ground, where's FEMA? Where's Red Cross? They're not doing anything. They're not distributing the supplies. I did hear that there are supplies on the ground in Lahaina finally. There are some locals who set up Starlink stations so that they could get back online. Power has been out, water's out. They haven't had internet. And so they're starting to bring in some Starlink so people can get back online. They're bringing in supplies. People are able to access some food. Again, not a lot of information coming out of that area yet. There's, again, some people, you might be able to find other videos of exact footage. We talked to some people today, and a firefighter said that he alone pulled out over 80 bodies. And I think that's the count that they're giving you for the death toll. We're estimating that it's over 1,000 people. That's horrific. Why is the government being so hush-hush and shutting everything down and not letting people know what's really going on? When they had their very first press conference a couple days after the tragedy, all that the officials could do that I heard was blame everybody else, say it wasn't me, it wasn't my responsibility. If you didn't know, there were no alarms that went off. Even though we have tsunami warning systems set up all over the island, they could have been turned on, but they weren't. And there was a fire in Lahaina in the morning. The firefighters put it out and said it was 100% out. Well, from, again, reports, they're saying that that was a fire that restarted itself and ended up taking out the entire city. Interestingly, the McDonald's and Burger King and Safeway and Walgreens are all still standing, but all the historic buildings, all the historic downtown, all of it is demolished and all the houses gone. But those commercial big box stores are still there. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the response. As a resident of Kihei, on Tuesday night, we could see the fire burning in Lahaina. Check my page. I posted photos from our lanai. We had ash raining down on us. It was like in our eyes, blowing around, and we could smell smoke very strong, yet no alerts. We had no idea if we were safe, if we were in the line of fire. We knew that the subdivision across the interstate or highway from us, Maui Meadows, had been under an evacuation notice, but we didn't know about us concerning because we were having ash fly all over the place. We just talked to a local that lives in Kula tonight, and he said that there was a power outage. There was no cell service because the winds were so strong and they blew down the power lines, and they could see the flames and fire like right coming up. And many people did lose their houses in that area too. But again, no alert system, no way for them to know, is it safe? How do we even get out? Where's the fire going? They could see it, and just really a horrific situation. So what we're being told on the news is not what's actually happening. I feel like from every angle, the government is doing everything they can to shut down all grassroots efforts and all of the locals' efforts to assist in any way, shape, or form, coming up with all these excuses why we can't help. And people in the community are coming together. They're amazing here. They love their neighbors. They're doing everything they can. And then it's red tape, red tape, red tape, all this bureaucracy going on, all of these other ulterior motives. Everybody's worried about, the government's worried about getting FEMA funding, and also be on alert. If you sign your property over to FEMA, you may never get it back. Look at what has happened to past disasters. It is a huge scam. Yes, they're going to give you money, and then will you ever be able to get your property or rebuild or anything? It is questionable. And I ended up picking up some people that needed to go to the shelter. There's still people sleeping in vehicles or without a vehicle in parking lots. And I drove around for 45 minutes trying to find a shelter. The ones that they said were still open were closed 2 days ago. And I finally found one in Kahului at the high school, dropped them off. War Memorial, the one that's overrun now by FEMA, supposedly is full. And they didn't need any help. We tried to help. So it's chaos. And I would say that the saviors of the situation are the people, the locals who live here that aren't involved with the government agencies. They're actually pushing through, breaking laws to try to get people help who desperately need it. So please share this, get the word out that they are not telling us the truth of what's going on at all. Look at some of my other posts for more information about what's going on behind the scenes here, and I'll try to keep you updated since we're actually located in Maui right now.